What's going on, everybody? It's your boy 2020 Guap, aka Cheddar to most of y'all, and I'm here with my brother Casket D.
What's up? What's up? It's Casket, the captain. You already know, Mad Gifted and Bothered. We in the building. We here with a brand new thing that we decided to bring to the world, bring light to the world. It's called Bare Bones, direct dialogue between artist and engineer, where you get to hear inside the inner workings of special projects and just things that we got going on between me and my compadre right there, 20. You heard? So, starting today, first webisode, we're going to get started with the brand new project, SEWER.
That's right, that's right. So, got a few questions for you, man. You know, throughout this whole project, I didn't get to really chop it up with you. We were in such a rush to finish it out in a certain time, which we actually didn't get to do it in the deadline you wanted at first. A lot of things got in between, but, you know, neither here nor there. So let me ask you this. What inspired the name SEWER?
No doubt. Well, first and foremost, for everybody, SEWER is going to be a continuous EP series. And as I thought of the idea to make a continuous EP series to go in between full lengths, you know, to spread out. My full lengths will be spread out, but I wanted new music out there for the public. I was chefing up with Grammy one day, actually, and I was telling him my idea of like what I wanted to do with the EP. And he was like, yo, that sounds like some dope shit. And I was like, yeah, like, you know, I want to bring it back to the essence, that real gritty New York sound, you know, what I came up on listening to, but also as an artist, what I came up on creating. And he was like, some of these beats that I was playing for him was like, yeah, that shit sounds like the steam that comes out of the sewers in New York. And like that shit was just like a motherfucking light bulb, you know what I mean? Like,
I like that. I ain't know that. See, like, we were doing this project, I didn't even know how you felt about it.
Exactly. So these are like the little cool points that everybody, you know, you get to see the inner workings and what goes behind the scenes on creating it, but not just putting it together, but also the creation process and shit like that.
I mean, you know me. I'm big into the comics and all that stuff. So when I saw the cover, it gave me a Ninja Turtles first movie feel, like seeing the sewer, the grimy part of New York. You know what I mean?
I've seen it all.
Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Like I want the SEWER EP series to feel like the underbelly of New York. You know what I'm saying? To feel like the underworld in the Rotten Apple. And when I explained that to Sammy and he said, yeah, that's like the steam coming from the sewer, it just was like, you hit it on the nose, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what inspired. He pretty much gave me the name from my recollection of what I wanted to deliver with this EP.
Man, speaking of that, man, how'd you come up with that whole? This is another question to it. It's a follow, but how'd you come up with that rotten apple? I remember that from years back. You know what I mean? And it just stuck with the whole time, like with you. That's your thing.
Hey, no pun intended. Look, you got the hat on the match. You heard? New York, you know they call it the Big Apple, and if you out here in the streets, you know it's the Rotten Apple. Shout out to PLK, Lloyd Banks. He named his album Rotten Apple, and
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like I said, the underbelly of New York, the grime, the shit that gets swept under the rug, that
the shit that people don't want to talk
about. Yeah,
they don't want to see it.
Exactly, the stuff that not everybody's able to see,
or in
not
tune
that you
with.
Want to see it anyway.
They not in tune with it. Yeah, I get you. All right, so here's my follow-up question to the first question. Why the black and white grayscale? What made you say, yo, you know what, like, I want to do it just black and white instead of the typical color?
Yeah, well, it also, the EP series itself was inspired by One Percenter, which is, if the public's not familiar with it, it's out on streaming services everywhere. You can get to it. It's a project that I put out a few years back where I delivered immaculate bars and just dope shit on classic boom bap era beats, but industry beats.
Right? Oh, that's right.
Like classics. I inspired by the sounds of You know, I had stuff from Mobb Deep on there. I had stuff from Black Moon on there. You know, just incredible production, like dope golden era songs. So when I wanted to create this EP series, it was inspired by that project. I said I want to do the same kind of feel as 1%er, but I want to make it all original. So no industry beats, but just original records. You know what I mean? With various producers that I'm either fans of or I work with. And the artwork for 1%er was all black and white. And so obviously following in the same vein of that, but also because just I feel like classic New York albums from the past had that, the inner linings, the booklets, they all like, matter of fact, prime example here, look, we got a picture of NAS, we got a picture of X right here. Actually, this is the exact picture of me that we used for the back cover.
Oh, that's dope. That's really dope.
So,
to see that.
I just wanted to encapsulate that feel, you know what I mean?
That
and it's funny because I even, exactly, it's funny because I even say it on the Unmovable Outfit, where I say something along the lines of the Mob was the soundtrack. No disrespect to Snoop Dogg, no disrespect to Too Short, but we wasn't jacking that. Like, we wasn't playing that out here, as great as they were. We was playing Mobb Deep, CNN, Wu-Tang, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what we came up on. X, the Locks.
A lot of those videos, Stop Being Gritty was black and white, shot all black and white.
Yes. All black and white. Exactly. And I also said on that same record, the landscape's a lot of cold grays, and naturally the music reflect the habitat.
El Capitan from New York, the Mob was the soundtrack. No disrespect to Snoop Dogg, no disrespect to Too Short, but we wasn't jacking that. The landscape a lot of cold grays, and naturally the music reflect the habitat.
And to me, that bar is as true as it can be, and
that's
as real as it can
right
be.
There, man.
You know, you come to New York, it ain't, if you're not from here, it's not the glitz and glamour you see on TV all the time. It's really, you come to the hoods, it's grayscale, it's dark, it's big buildings, it's gloomy. You know what I mean?
Man, it's been a while, but you know, not to sidetrack, but I know it's been gloomy these past few weeks out there. Man, it's like not the same New York that we all love and admire, and coming from there, man. It's crazy right now.
Yeah. It's crazy right now. No, definitely. Prayers go out to everybody in the whole world, but especially my hometown in New York, as we dealing with this crisis right now. You know, but
all we can tell y'all, stay home and do what they're telling you to do, man. It's for our best, for everybody's best, the elderly especially. All right, man. Well, let me ask you the next question, man. And this is something I give you so much shit about, and you know this already. So what made you go do a boom bap album compared to the direction you was heading in? You was going towards, you know, I'm not gonna name all the albums we got because it would take all day to name every album we got coming. But what made you go left, or do you always just kind of wing what project you're gonna do? You just say, you know what, I'm gonna put this on hold and I'm gonna do this one now. This is what I want to do. Yeah, I like that, but I'm gonna do that later. Like, how do you manage that?
To be honest, it's crazy because we work so much. Like, to the general public that don't know, in the last 2.5 years we put out 6 albums. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we work so much more than that. That's just what's been put out.
Yeah.
So everything's time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta squeeze the juice out of everything we're putting out as well. So my whole game plan with SEWER was, I don't want to cut the legs off of full lengths that I had out prior to this, and I don't want to prematurely drop another full length yet. So this is kind of like the segue in between. And to be honest, doing 1%er, the shit was one of my favorite projects to create. It was super fun. I didn't really have to be super conceptual and very extra artistic. I could really just go back to the rawness of me being an elite lyricist, a talented MC, and show people, like, listen, this is what I don't have to worry about strong song structure and all of that. If I want to give you 57 bars on this, I'll give you 57 bars on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Well, the past few years, I've always asked you, man, why is this formatted this way? It's not, you know, as an engineer, I kind of stick with the typical 4 8-bar hooks, 12-bar verses, or 16. But then I hear, like, you got like an 8-bar hook, an 8-bar verse, a 4-bar bridge, and it's like there's so many lanes in which you could do things now. It's not the same format as it was 15 years ago.
Definitely. And you know, the reason why you deal with that a lot is because obviously you're my partner, you're the in-house, you the dude that mixes and masters all my records, right? But you still work with the public and you have different clientele that you work with. And a lot of these dudes, you know, some people are still kind of put themselves in that box. I'm an artist, man. I'm a creator. It's like every track is like a canvas, and my mind is the paintbrush. The track goes wherever I want it to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just hear beats differently. I hear where I want to break things down at. I hear sometimes where I don't necessarily want to stop spitting at this point, or where I do want to use this as maybe a bridge. Like, it's like, I don't know. It's like Goodwill Hunting, man. When Matt Damon's mind is just going and shit, that's how my shit goes with music.
You're a true creator, man. You're a true artist in your form, man. So you can't really put a limit or a cap on that, you know.
Nah, definitely. But now, since we spoke about that, where this is a lot less intricate than my normal full-length albums, where it's like a lot of layers, a lot of introspectiveness. Since this is a lot less intricate, my question to you is, what's the differences between mixing the project like Sewer Steam or say like a project like Southie or Everything in Between or other projects that will be releasing in the future?
Man, Sewer Steam to me, man, it just had more of that, like I said, like you said, it had more of the 90s feel to it, the boom bap. So I mixed a little bit of the old with the new, like doing the drops here and there. Like, you didn't really have that back in the day. So I just kept whatever I felt like I wanted to hear. Like, I would take the songs with me in the truck when I mixed them. Then I'd see what I'm gonna add to it more. So I kind of still use the formula I use with Southie and all these, but just adapted it to this project. But the mixing Southie, for example, which we knew took months, it didn't just take a few weeks. What Sewer Steam was a little bit more simpler because it brought it back to the element of the 90s hip hop, where you didn't need so many tracks and so much layer out and stuff like that. And I love that about it because it was more raw. It didn't feel robotic and generic. It didn't feel like it was just lab made. It didn't feel, it just felt like it was perfect the way it was. Little EQ, little this, and mostly just making the beats exciting when you do the drops and certain bars to stand out. Just added a little bit of the new with the old.
That's where I wanted to get to with that question, because when you put something together that's a lot less intricate, it's giving you, the engineer, a lot less to work with. So it makes your job easier mixing wise, but it also makes your creativity grow, because now you're trying to figure out, oh shit, what can I do to enhance this record? You know what I mean?
Because if not, it's gonna sound just like a 90s track where it's like, okay, it's nothing special, but you still have to have that special quality in each track.
Yeah, and you want to encapsulate that raw. Like, I tell people this all the time. Sometimes the cleanest, like, you want your mixes to be great, but sometimes you don't want things to sound so super cleaned up, because that takes that rawness away from records that are not supposed to be super clean. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So the art of that comes with the engineer's expertise, them understanding the concept of where the project is going and where the artist wants it to be, and also understanding how to put their best foot forward to bring that to life. So you don't want to overdo stuff sometimes, but yet at the same time you also want to let your creativity show, to like I said, to bring out the best of those records that are a lot less layered.
You don't want to overdo it, but you don't want to cut yourself short either.
Yeah, definitely.
At the end of the day, both names are on this project, on whatever we're doing.
100%. I mean, I tell people this all the time. My project, anybody that wears this right here on their heart, on their body, or in their soul, this represents you if it comes from me, my project. So is your project the same? My albums, my EPs. And vice versa. If the Blizzard puts something out, when me and Genesis put something out, Sin, Pax, the whole camp, whoever, even our producers, you know what I'm saying? Like Grammy and Domex and Tally, like, we're a unit. So everyone has to wear this with honor and understand that whatever comes out from the camp, no matter who's the title that's on it, that represents all of us. You know what I'm saying? So if everybody's putting their best foot forward doing that, then we're going to get the best product out there.
Correct. Okay. Well, let's move forward. let me ask you this, man. This is another one that kind of, because there's no way that you just know certain quotes. So are you like a real big movie buff that you know all these skits that we put into these songs? I mean, you must have a range that's incredible, because even on Everything in Between, we had a Daredevil skit, which I never thought that you'd be into, because, you know, certain movies don't hit.
Nah, not Daredevil. Let me correct you. Punisher.
Punisher, you right. Yeah. Ooh, okay, you got me on that.
You the Marvel guy.
Nah, but
You
hold
the
on,
Marvel
matter of
guy.
fact, it was a Punisher line on the Daredevil season 2.
Okay, all right. So we both right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Touche.
But no, it's just, you know, you sent me all these, you know, hey, I want to put this here, and I'm like, yo, how does he? I don't know how you find so much time in the day. You're a busy man to know all these quotes, because I know you don't just go on YouTube and randomly search a quote that's gonna fit a track. You must know what you want for each track.
I'm a movie head, man. Everybody that outside of music, I'm a sports fanatic and I'm a movie buff. Shout out to my homie too. Still, we did a record that it's still from New Road. We did a record that's gonna be on one of his projects in the future, and he asked the same shit when we were in the studio that day. Watson was with me, and he was like, "Yo, how you be coming up with all these like flavor skits from the movies and shit?" I'm like, "Yo, bro, honestly," and the same thing I'll reply to you. I'm a movie head. I literally watch a lot of movies. I love the art of movie making. I see the genius in great directors. So the same way I can see the genius in a great musical artist, I see the same genius in a great director or an actor per se. So like I'm more a big fan of like thrillers and dramas per se, because that's for me. I feel like that's when you get the best acting and you get the best screenplay. But, you know, I don't shy away from action movies like a Marvel movie or something like that as well, or comedies and all of that too. The only genre I'm not really a fan of too much is horrors. Like, they don't do it for me.
Yeah, same here.
To each his own.
They don't do it for me. Okay, so part 2 to that question, real quick. Favorite actor, favorite movie?
Of all time?
Maybe in the past 10, let's say last 10 years. Not all time, last 10 years.
I don't know. I got a decent, I love Leo.
I'm the king of the world!
I
love, my most underrated is Gyllenhaal. I feel he's super underrated.
He is great. Yeah, he is great.
I'm trying to think who else, man. Some of my favorite directors, it's hard to narrow down like a favorite movie, but like some of my favorite directors, I love the Coen brothers. I love Scorsese, obviously.
Scorsese's dope.
I love Tarantino. I love actually, I don't know, I do know. You just seen Uncut Gems recently.
Dude.
The Safdie brothers.
That ending was savage. That ending was savage.
Dope, right? I told you. And that's another thing too. I think I fell in love with that movie. Well, not really just that movie, but I'll bring it back to that. The Safdie brothers are two brothers from Queens. So I got put on to them because they released a movie a few years back called Good Time. And Good Time is an incredible movie. But just watching it stars them too. It stars one of the brothers. Just watching the movie, it encapsulates New York. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. They found the real New York in that.
Yes, because they're lifelong New Yorkers, so they understand what it is to be from New York, and their movies encapsulate it. So when I knew they were putting out Uncut Gems, I couldn't wait for it because I already was up on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm such a movie buff. Where a lot of people are finding out about them now, and which is great. I'm happy about that because they deserve it. But like I said, I got a lot of directors. One of my favorites is Taylor Sheridan. He's probably my favorite right now. If everybody's not familiar with him, he's the one that done Hella High Water. Hella High Water is probably my favorite movie that came out in recent history. Actually, he did Hella High Water. He did Wind River. He did what's it called, Sicario. So.
Oh, Sicario. Yeah, I like that movie.
You the Marvel guy. So now let me bounce one back your way. What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Ooh, In the past, you know what? I'm gonna say Thor Ragnarok, man. That was a funny movie, man, and it kind of got out of the so serious element and brought a little comedy into the movies, which it needed.
Thor, son of Odin.
Sasha, son of a bitch, you're still alive. I thought my father killed you like 500,000 years ago.
And Taika Waititi is an awesome director, man. I'm glad he's doing the next Thor movie. And I'm glad James Gunn is back to do Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But if they would have had a second option, Taika Waititi would have been awesome for him to direct that because he's got that same comedy element. But yeah, man, Thor Ragnarok, I gotta say that hands down.
That was a dope one. I'll tell you that.
I know you told me you liked it.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites that I've seen. I think I got something to bounce your way.
Cool.
Actually, so yeah, touching on the skits. So like when creating these like records, after finishing the records, or sometimes even before, during the creation process, I just hear something that's supposed to be there. And then I go into my movie Rolodex and pinpoint shit that I wanted. So, I mean, that's why if people aren't familiar, just as some insight, the first record on Sewer Steam is called Noodles. The reason it's called Noodles is because I used the skit from Made in America. I mean, Once Upon a Time in America, excuse me. And with Robert De Niro, who plays Noodles. And, you know, I just heard it there, you know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that one line where he said something about the streets.
Yeah, it just gave it that mobster New York style feel to it, and it's just like that, you want to grab the Tommy gun and just let off.
Definitely so. So yeah, like I said, while creating, I just go in my mental Rolodex of movies and I hear shit, you know what I mean? It's the same as like if I hear a bridge needs to be placed here or a hook needs to be placed here. I'm just painting and trying to make that track come to life as much as I can.
You're being your own Leonardo da Vinci, basically, but in music.
Definitely so. Now, since we talking about skits, this wasn't necessarily a skit, but for the general public, there's a song on there called Azul Magic, which happens to be my hidden treasure track, and we'll get into that after this question. But the question I want to give to you is, what made you? Because if you didn't know, for the public, if you didn't know, when the phone, when that bar comes to play in that song, and then the phone picks up, and then it hangs up on a dial tone, and you hear somebody with a Spanish accent speaking, "Hello," that happens to be 20 Cheddar. You know what I'm saying? And that was his idea. So
I'm still waiting on my check.
Like,
I'm waiting on my feature check.
Cut the check. We're done. Little bitty book, sign check, rip it out. Done.
No doubt. Check the mail, baby. But he I just want to give him kudos to Cheddar, because you brought that to life. You made that happen with your own mind. That didn't come from me in any shape or form. And it made that song so much, even that much better. And I just want you to give insight to the public of what made you think of that.
Man, you know me, like I said, I always listen to the tracks to see how the final mix sounds. And we already know when we say final mix, that ain't the final mix. It never really is. And that bar just gave me chills because the way you say, habla man, I was like, man, it needs something. And those for you who don't know, I am Colombian. So, you know, that gangster mentality just kind of crept in, the Colombian necktie. So it just needed to sound like a boss was talking on the phone. And it just, I don't know, it just clicked one and one. And I said, hey, you know what, we gotta do this. So let me chop the whole track right here, do that, and then bring the whole track back in. And it just worked perfectly, man. I didn't think it was going to work. I didn't know, but we had to try it. And I'm glad that I did. Like, I think I made the call on that one. I made the executive decision on that one.
You made the call on that. That's the brain working to you, and kudos to you, salute, because that shit was beautiful. It's probably one of my favorite parts on the actual project. Like, it's dope.
Yeah, I love that whole track. And okay, talking about that track. Now, let me ask you this. You brought back another essence to this project that I haven't seen in a long time. You brought back the hidden track feature, but you didn't do it the typical how you do it at the end of the album. You did this in the middle. So what was your thought process behind that? Like, what made you bring that back, and then also just do it different and put it somewhere in the middle instead of as the last track.
Yeah, so when brainstorming, once I had Sewer Steam in my head and I knew the direction I wanted to go, it's like the wheels start rolling, you know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here like, ooh, what can I do? So for some reason, it just dawned upon me, like, I want to leave a secret track on this. And I want that to be something where on every single Sewer Steam moving forward, there's going to be a hidden treasure track because I'm the captain. So I got to leave a hidden treasure for y'all. So there's two reasons behind it. One, I just thought that was cool as shit, you know what I mean? And two, it also allowed me to stuff another record on the album and keep it as an EP as opposed to a full length.
Oh, that's right. Anything above 6 tracks. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, anything over 6 tracks or over half an hour is considered a full length. And so me, I want to give the public more material. That's one. But two, I just thought like the beauty of it is as these projects start continuing on and you're getting Sewer Steam 2 and 3 and 4, people are gonna be looking forward to them hidden treasure tracks, them secret tracks. And then I want, like, I looked at it like where I'll be able to ask them, out of all the Sewer Steams, what's your favorite secret track? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And originally it was supposed to be the last record. I was gonna keep it the last record, but I knew I wanted to close out Sewer Steam with Jungle, and I said I can't make this a secret record. It's just too much of a bona fide like special record. It's a damn near hit to me. You know what I'm saying?
I love the way Outfit finishes and goes into Azul. It just went perfectly. I don't think it would have gone good with Jungle going into the other one. I think that was a perfect finish.
Oh no, see that's what I'm explaining. It wasn't gonna be like that. Jungle was gonna be the secret track. So basically, the last track would have ended with the Great Debate, and then it would have went into Jungle as a secret track. The reason why I switched it up is because I didn't want Jungle to be a secret track. I wanted Jungle to be able to be played on its own because it's that powerful of a record.
Gotcha.
So because of that, I ended up creating a new record, which happened to be Azul. And I said, I'm going to put this right after Outfit because it just flowed beautifully. Like, if the public don't know, my favorite part of creating an album or a project is sequencing. Sequencing is my favorite part. You know what I'm saying? So, it just flowed beautifully. And that's another thing I want to shout out you too, because I had it coming right after, and you was like, yo, why don't we make it kind of blend right into it, where they kind of intersect a little.
Here's the end and here's the beginning.
Yes. And it was a beautiful blend. So, again, salute to you for that, man.
Appreciate that. Nah, man, and I love the whole album, man. I need everybody to go out there, download, stream it, do whatever you can, man. You home, knock some Sewer Steam.
Yeah.
Knock Casket D. Make sure he's one of you. Follow him on Spotify.
No
got
doubt.
a lot of bangers on there, man. We got songs after song. I mean,
Definitely.
right now, I'm giving you. How much crap do I give you about, hey, what album we working on? Album number 96? What we doing, Tupac? Come on.
Yeah, I
to
know.
me, you are like the living Tupac in the sense of how many tracks he has stacked up. Tupac had a lot of music.
Definitely. No, I get that, and I appreciate that, man. I try to work hard. Like, I love this shit. So for me, it's work, but it's also the work comes with after creating the music. That's the work.
Mm-hmm.
Creating the music is fun. You know what I'm saying? That's the fun part. So I love it. Like, we sitting on a bunch of material, and anyway, before we cut out of here, I just want to say, yeah, like you said, Sewer Steam out now. I hope this gave y'all some insight on some of the creation process and the inner workings. And this is something new that we're gonna be doing moving forward between me and my brother right here. Like I said, it's called Bare Bones Dialogue, direct dialogue between artist and engineer, just to give y'all some insight on the inner workings and mechanics that go into this shit. And before we cut, I just want, what's your favorite record on Sewer Steam, man?
Yeah, I'm not trying to be biased, but Azul, man, Azul is my track right now. I'm not even trying to be biased, but
no doubt.
Not because I'm on it. I just really love I think after I put that skit, it made it just be that more powerful of a track. And you know what I mean? When I add something, I just end up loving that track more.
Nah, that's dope. And not to mention.
How about you? What's your favorite record on your album?
See, it's very hard, man. When people ask that question, it's so hard because they all mean something to me. on any album. So for me, it's different days. I have different favorites, but I love Outfit in the Soul. I love Jungle. I love Noodles. Still Shadowboxing.
That's the album, man.
I mean, I love them all. To be honest,
it's your baby. You love it no matter what.
yeah, it's like having different kids. You love them all the same. You just love them differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Still
I have one final
Shadowboxing.
question for you before we leave.
Still Shadowboxing right now.
Okay, Shadowboxing's a great track. But I have one more question before we leave. And this is just the new generation. I want to ask you, are you still going to get albums made into CDs, knowing that the way that the market is going and streaming and downloading is going? Are you still going to provide hard copies at all?
Definitely so. So we got a special edition song. It's a top secret thing right now. But I guess I can say, because by the time this comes out, it'll be already out. We have a special edition merch for Sewer Steam, which is a tape, actual cassette tape in the form of a USB for you to plug in and listen to like that. Cassette. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that.
There you go. Now you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The only person that knew about that.
I gotta fix up the artwork, I guess. And
Nah, it's done. It's done. Shout out to
I
Genesis.
didn't even need me for that one.
Genesis is there. Actually, we're waiting on the shipment. I should be getting the shipment in a day or two, so I'll be putting it out. I'm gonna put out a video, our first video for it, and then after that, I'll be putting out that special edition.
You want to tell the people what's the first video coming off this EP?
It don't make sense to tell them, because by the time they see this, the video will be out.
Very true. Enough said.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely, I definitely plan to continue on with that's a special edition thing, but there will be hard copies of everything. We're gonna revamp our site and have the Mad Gifted and Bothered site up and running for the summer, and we're gonna have every single piece of merch that we've ever released up there, every single album, single, all of our services when it comes to our production, different beats for sale for the general public, mixing and mastering, our graphic arts. Like I said, everything we do is in-house, man. You know, so shout out to Genesis too. He fixed the artwork up.
Let's let the people know. We do apologize if nothing's being shipped yet with the pandemic. We just can't go into post office. We can't ship anything out, guys.
We're taking a little hiatus on that, but
things get less hectic. Things will start going out slowly. But
yeah, bear with us.
People.
Another shout out to Watson. He's the one that did the cover. He took the pictures for the cover art. This one that you see behind me now. So you know what I'm saying? Like, we here, baby. Mad Gifted and Bothered, Sewer Steam, bare bones, direct dialogue between artist and engineer. Let's get it.
See y'all on the next one.